Welcome back, my dear friends. This show is about searing. The reason I wanted to do this show is because we did another show about steaming chicken with garden vegetables. I wanted to dovetail, and I've used this terminology before, and it's about using ingredients for other dishes so we do not have too much leftover in our refrigerator. I wanted to show you how simply we could use those same ingredients and introduce a different flavor profile in a different approach and a different presentation and a different cooking technique. This show, I'm going to take a chicken breast that we used in our steaming process and use it in a searing process, and to show you what the difference is. Searing is about taking an ingredient and using a very hot pan and caramelizing that ingredient, and by doing so we close the pores of the ingredient and we trap the juices inside. You have all seared your finger, I promise, and that's when you burn yourself. You have a blister formed. Why? The pores of your skin closes. The moisture underneath your skin has nowhere to escape to or evaporate to. What happens? A blister is formed. It's the same thing that happens to a meat or an ingredient when we cook it. You need at least 300 degrees and above to sear an ingredient. So when your meat releases its juices and is not searing, that means your pan wasn't hot enough. Not the end of the world. Just we redo it the next time and we try it and we cook it correctly. Sometimes in a white meat, in a chicken, in a pork, especially seafood, it is always necessary to dredge your ingredient in flour to create a dry surface. Cornstarch is a magnificent dredging ingredient because the grains are very fine and they penetrate in the ingredient much better and stop the oil from penetrating. And the breast of chicken is going to be dredged in some cornstarch that has been seasoned with a little bit of white pepper, salt, and paprika. Now we want to bring a different flavor profile here, so some paprika. The pan is heating up, and to make sure that we can cook at a high temperature without it smoking, but we want that nutty flavor of the butter, right? First, a little bit of olive oil. Not EVOO or extra virgin, because 300 degrees and above, the characteristic of the oil is destroyed and you're going to lose that flavor profile of the extra virgin. And make sure your olive oil says pure, because the association that grades olive oil allows them to use 80% of any other oil that they wish, as long as 20% of it is olive oil, and call it olive oil still. So you want it to say pure olive oil. We have some oil here, and we're gonna drop a small little piece of butter in there to tell us, look, our oil is hot. Because once the bubbles subside, that means the whey or the water content of the butter has disappeared. That's what? It's above 212 degrees. So that's a good indicator for you. Now, you put this, move the tip pan this way, oil close to yourself, and then you lay the ingredient away from yourself. Why do you do that? The oil is going to splatter away from you if it falls, not towards you. Hear this noise? That's the searing. That's the natural caramelization that's happening right now, okay? Leave this baby alone. Lower temperature a little bit. Let the searing happen. Let the searing happen. And look, I'm just moving this chicken around without lifting it or removing it from the pan so it would not lose temperature. Look what happened. Look what happened. Now, put that baby back down again. That's what's called caramelization. The water content has evaporated, the natural sugars have intensified and have caramelized. That's what it is. You're going to take this chicken out for a moment, and we're going to set it here. There's a little bit too much oil here, so what we're going to do, we call this process degreasing. We're going to get rid of some of this oil. We're going to leave a little bit of it. That's all that's left. We're going to throw in a sprig of thyme. You hear that? And we're going to throw in all of our ingredients that was left over from our steaming. Few capers. We do not want to sear these ingredients, so we have lowered the temperature. Why? We want these ingredients to sweat. to release their natural juices. Let that water content that's being released to create some steam. Return the chicken back to the pan. Set them on that bed of beautiful flavor. Squeeze some fresh lemon here on the chicken and in the bottom. Deglaze the pan. Deglaze, that means remove the yum-yums that are sticking to the bottom of the pan with some white wine. What better facial can a chef get than this? And all of you are chefs. Get a facial, will you? And some chicken stock. Put the beautiful top on this. Let this baby cook. Leave it alone. Let the magic happen. Now, what do? It is time to clean up. Clean your kitchen and do not stress over cleaning later. Now is the time to clean up. So, remove the top. Use your tongue. Put it down there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to remove this gorgeous chicken. Oh my God. Put it on the cutting board. Let this baby rest. Then the time can go now. Has done its work. While we are waiting, we're going to cut this asparagus in a bias. That means in an angle. In 3. Last minute, we're going to throw it in the sauce. Increase your heat, guys. Now, increase your heat. We're going to make a quick pan sauce for you. Look, there's very little liquid down here, okay? Quick pan sauce. Tiny cube of butter. Tiny. Why? To emulsify, to marry all the flavors and to bind the flavors together. We don't use butter for a thickening agent. We don't need to. Nature's done it for us. The proper tool, this beautiful saute pan from my friends have done it for me, and the reduction has done it for me. Intensify flavor. The water has evaporated. The reduction has happened. That evaporation has cooked my chicken perfectly. Scallopine, Italian scallopine, same concept. Sear fast, use flour to dredge, and make a pan sauce. Look at this beauty now. Now, you notice I have not added any seasoning so far. Why? When you're evaporating things, water is evaporating. Seasoning is going to intensify, so don't season until last minute. Quick taste. With my tasting spoon here. It's got so much beautiful flavors in there. You need so little seasoning. Just a little bit of salt, a little bit of white pepper, and a little bit of black pepper. You notice I still haven't cut that chicken, huh? The protein is resting. The juices are coming back to the center. They're going to be beautiful and juicy. You cut it too fast, the protein fibers are pressing the waters up to the surface. You cut them and there goes the juice. Dries out. The sauce thickened up. It's gorgeous. It's just beautiful. My wonderful cameraman to catch this gorgeous chicken that I'm going to slice. In an angle. My God. I wish you could see the juices, guys. Now, what are we going to do here? We're just going to bring this sauce. Don't cover all that chicken. Thank you for giving me the energy. Visit me at michaelficker.com. Give me your questions and let me cook for you. I love you and I'll see you soon.